countdowns like Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So do I just say like my name? Like, do I say my name and everything? Okay, all right.
So, hey,
I don't think we're supposed to look at the camera. I don't know.
you can't.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Okay.
matter.
All right, whatever. All right.
You just look wherever you want, I guess.
Well, I'm Charlie Stasel. I was the mayor, and some things that went well over this simulation. I feel that we had an agreement on most of the areas of manual thinning and just like mechanical thinning.
Just like mitigation strategies.
Mitigation
really.
strategies. Okay. All right. Sorry. I'm gonna start over. All right. I'm Charlie Stasel. I was the mayor. I feel like things that went well were the mitigation strategies that we had and the overall agreement on each part and area that we chose. Some things that I thought didn't go very well might have been the exact, like, each person had their own strategy for their position, and I feel that if we were to look over more in depth of what messages and news, like what they wanted us to do, then I feel we could have a better plan for your ideal mitigation strategy or plan. And what else? What was beneficial? I thought that we were able to communicate very well and talk amongst each other, not have any disagreements or arguments. And something that we could have done differently could be just the overall mitigation plan, more in depth.
I'm Rocky Nelson. I was the representative for the environmental organization. And what I think went well is I think we all worked pretty well together. I think we did a good job, reaching consensus on most things. We didn't really leave anyone out or anything or really exclude anybody from their ideas. What I think didn't go too well is that, I think our overall plan, ended up not being quite what we wanted. Quite exact, especially when we were trying to fit all the different mitigation strategies across all the months. I think we rushed that part a little bit, but I think part of that comes from the fact that we had to fit all this into the hour that we were in recitation.
Mm-hmm.
We're all tired. It's all early in the morning. So it's like
that was
all
a big
of us,
factor,
not all of us are
definitely
functioning at 100% yet. So it's like spending 15, 20 of those first minutes just trying to get things rolling. That was the other one. Oh yeah. What I thought was beneficial was definitely all of us, kind of working together on this. That all of us didn't have it wasn't just one of us coming up with all the ideas. We all kind of contributed our own ideas. We all spoke up when we felt we needed to. I think that was really good. And it was frustrating. For one thing, having to communicate at 8 a.m. with that early in the morning, and having to deal with everybody's different roles, and everybody trying to with all their conflicting plans, and trying to get everything worked out there. You couldn't please everybody, in this assignment. That's something we had to get used to. So what I do differently, probably just not have to do this at 8 a.m.
So the time was a big
Just
thing.
the time, I'd say I
would agree
nowhere
with that.
near functioning. I can hear myself talking at 8 a.m. in the morning, and all I'm doing is mumbling. I swear. So I think that would help our communication a lot.
Hi, I'm Ellie Alicio. I was the coalition representative. One thing I think we did good with our group is we kind of made decisions without a lot of conflict. We worked together as a group, talked everything out with good conversation. That everyone's tried to meet everyone's needs, and then we just shared our opinions, our own points of view, which really helped. We benefited when. What was beneficial is our group didn't really have a problem with showing up. We were all there. We all contributed. honestly. And then I think what we struggled with was kind of like what Rocky said. It was hard to meet everyone's needs, like with their own different roles and stuff. It was just we all needed different things, and we tried our best to meet everyone's needs, which worked. And then what we would do differently, I don't know. I think we did pretty good. It did suck being there. Yeah, overall it was pretty good.
What we'd all do differently, not take recitation today.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
sure we've been different.
Alright, I'm Vanessa Noongam. I was the water board representative, and I think we did a really good job at like communicating and like working equally as much as everyone else in the group. And then I think we did really good at like complying to everyone's needs, even though like we all didn't agree on everything, and like going with like the majority, even though like some of us might have had like different things. And I think like even if we ran into issues, we kind of like talked about it, and we didn't really argue that much.
Kind of like majority rule.
Exactly. Yeah. We just kind of voted on everything, and then like even if someone didn't get something they wanted, they got something like the next round or something. So, and then it was really beneficial that we just all were there and we just had good communication.
I'm Brian DeZara. I was the forest ranger. I mean, I think you guys pretty much nailed everything, but I think what went well was our communication was good. We were good about like meeting up outside of class and making sure to fit everyone's schedule, which was kind of tough sometimes. And then during the simulation, I thought we did a good job, like you guys said, of just making sure that everyone was happy. Even though there were times that like two people would have one thing, two people would have another, and then one would have something else. So we're kind of split. But we did a good job overall, I think, of making sure everyone was happy. Some things that were difficult, again, just like those split decisions, we did a good job of making up for it. Early in the morning, it was tough. Like, it's tough to communicate when you're just rolling out of bed. So that was definitely a struggle, but I think we did a good job.
So one concept I think that we definitely faced was the version 2 transactive memory system. Yeah. And it was exactly pretty much what it was. We all had different aspects of the group, and we all came together and trying to find each and everybody's expertise in certain situations. So I feel like the version 2 definitely reflected what this simulation was about, and I feel like we did a good job of figuring out who's good at what and how we could communicate and get this mitigation plan done.
Yeah, because before all of this, we're all strangers. None of us really knew each other. None of us knew we were going to be working together. So it was just kind of like going on. It's like a learning experience for that. So it's kind of what makes it really version 2.
Yeah.
And so another concept that I kind of notice, especially when we're working among a group of strangers so early in the morning, is obviously like some groupthink.
Definitely.
For sure, because it's like we're having to go through a bunch of regions, do a bunch of rounds of this, with like each section. It's so hard to kind of really try to get everything that everybody wants, narrow it down, So I know for sure I definitely made a few sacrifices for my plan just to make sure everybody else kind of had theirs, So I kind of just went along with it, even though I didn't really want to or really feel like I should have.
Yeah.
Fight for it. Yeah, I didn't really fight for it, I didn't like.
I feel like that was like kind of what made our group good though.
Yeah.
Because we weren't like so strong about our ideal plan.
No
No one
was
pissed.
really too pissed about that.
But we balanced it out as much as we could.
Yeah, for sure. But like, there's no doubt that some of the trying to fill some of the sections of the regions. Some of the regions are a lot larger, and had just so many spaces, and had just so many people with like the conflicting mitigation strategies that it just, some of us just kind of had to just roll over.
Let it go.
Let it go, or take one for the team, just to kind of move along, or just kind of didn't reach consensus. Because we're kind of, as I said, with like an hour long or an hour and a half, 15-minute long recitation, we're always kind of crunched for time. It's not like we have 2-3 hours to hash this out. you know. So we're kind of just trying to roll along.
And I think one of our main strategies to like accomplish the simulation was we all showed up, like read through our messages and our news, and kind of just applied that to like our conversation, and we all consulted with each other about like what that said, and that's how we, in a broad spectrum, that's how we like accomplished this simulation. We all just contributed with that according to our
with that in mind.
with our like roles and stuff.
I notice like sometimes we get like personal messages, you know, from just like our respective organizations. So what we do, you know, instead of kind of keeping it to ourselves, we kind of share it with
Sometimes
everyone.
we would even get two of the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which would kind of help because
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
true.
other people wanted, and it would.
Yeah,
be
so
easier
you know, it
to
would make
agree
your
upon.
interests fall in line, make it
Yeah.
a little easier to compromise, you know. But you know, we didn't withhold any information like that. We'd always kind of read through some of the facts and the messages and share it with the rest of the group, just so everybody kind of knows where everyone is at.
Yeah.
So I think that really played into the overall strategy as well.
And then another thing is like we all first like identified our own individual roles and like read what we were supposed to do and like what we were supposed to do for like our own plans, and then we came together as a group and then like put all our like strategies together and then like came together with a plan. So
Some tactics that I noticed. So like at the beginning of class, we'd find out what region we were working on, and then kind of compare maps with each other to get an idea of what everyone's thinking, what everyone wants. And then from there, we'd have to, like we talked about earlier, decide on, you know, like what we're gonna fill in for which space based on what everyone has. And then another tactic was just like you said, Rocky, checking your messages and emails before class, and then when you get to class, just sharing them with everyone so we're all on the same page. We know what to expect going forward.
I kind of wanted to add with like kind of the identifications that, you know, with like this whole simulation, you know, all the roles that we got, you know, we didn't get to choose them. You know, so it's not like we're getting to pick the role that we want or pick the role that we identify with the most. So it was kind of tough there, you know. Like I know with
You can
my
figure it out
yeah,
as you go along pretty
yeah,
much
I like
what
know
you
with my organization they were like kind of a huge stickler with, you know, prescribed burning and all that. And it was just kind of
you
you
had
know,
a lot,
just
you had a lot
it
of
was
that.
just all just burn
Burn everything.
burn the whole thing, you know. It was just like, you know, it's not really what I do, you know. So
It doesn't really fit your
yeah, it doesn't really fit my I guess identity. So it's
prior to the
Yeah.
being in that position.
So I'd imagine like you know, some of us to an extent didn't fully identify with their roles,
Exactly,
you know. So I think that kind of leads over to, you know, to some of the group thing. It's just like, yeah, this is what my organization wants. This is my role dictates, but I don't really. That's not what I want, you know. So I don't really care. Something like that.
I just feel
At least at certain points.
overall we did our best.
Yeah, I
to,
think we for sure
to complete this mitigation plan, and we had fun doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
had fun. I don't know.
like
8
in the
a.m.
morning.
Yeah, 8 a.m. burning things.
Oh,
yeah, you
yeah.
know, having
trees.
as much fun as we can.
Yeah. So
And all of us are just thinking, I just want to go back to sleep.
Good job, though.
Yeah, well, I was glad at least
Good job,
for
guys.
yeah, we did well. I was at least glad that, you know, nobody missed one at least during the
Yeah.
simulation.
Made it easy.
Everybody showed up, you know, so we didn't have to, you know, miss anything during like any of the rounds that we did.
Cool. Awesome. Sounds good.